Welcome to the Latvian Football Podcast special Virsliga Fantasy edition, where we are going to, do something very special, something that came about by accident. If you have watched our introduction to Virsliga Fantasy video from last week, you will know that something very, very unusual indeed happened. Some say it was ordained by the stars, others say it was a creation of a madman, but a team was born out of my demonstration manual, the Cool Guys United. They are very cool, they are not very good, and of course we couldn't let them be by themselves with no guidance or direction, so it is alas our responsibility to take care of them and to take them forth into the stardom of Virsliga Fantasy 2024. They are part of our league, the Latvian Football Podcast Mini League, on the Virsliga Fantasy website, which you are very welcome to join. But the conundrum remains: who is smart enough, clever enough, knowledgeable enough to manage them into, the team that they can be best? And the answer is, of course, no one, not one person. So we are all, or some of us, are going to do it collectively. And joining me today is our first and arguably most important guest coach, Yanis from Latvian Footy in English account on Twitter. Hi, Yanis.
Hi, how are you doing?
I'm very excited to see what you will cook up with this group of virtual individuals. So the reins are yours. Take us forth.
Okay, so let's start. I'm gonna go first with the goalkeepers, and looking at the available goalkeepers, there are quite a few very good ones. But to me, after the match day one, the guy to go is Raivo Sturiņš from Auda. I think even though they play Riga next, it's like he can allow some goals, but in the long term, I think Sturiņš will be to go as your first choice goalkeeper. So because of that, let's go with some defense right now, as I have my starting goalkeeper for long term. Let's go with some defenders. I'm gonna leave these out, 4 million, which is a budget like signings. So let's start with the first one. Usually when I play fantasy, I don't like to choose central defenders. I like to use fullbacks because they get some assists. With including with a clean sheet, there's more points. So I'm gonna do the same approach this time. And first one I'm gonna take is Savalnieks from RFS. Because he gets a lot of assists, obviously. Let's look at others. So I did like what Auda did last game, especially what was it? It was the right fullback, Tavares. And looking at his price, it's pretty good, just 5 million. So where is Tavares? Tavares will be my second one. Okay, so that's two defenders right now. Let's go with the midfielder. And there is one guy already who I will choose. It is Lucas Vapne. He had 1+1 in the previous game. He was doing everything in that game, so he's to me will be one of the players who will get the most points as the season progresses and at the end of the season. So let's change up a little bit. I'm gonna take out Iconics. I'm gonna take out Niang. I don't like those like 11, 10 million midfielders, in my opinion, because in long term, I think they get a lot of points. But if you can get from two guys around 7.5 million, 7 million, the same amount of points, I think it's really like better, in my opinion. So let's start. Let's look at my list, what I did right. And one of them is from Tukums, who made a surprise in the previous games. Oh, this is defenders. So let's look at the midfielder. And the first one is from Tukums. It is Bogdan Samoilovs, the captain of the Tukums side. he played a little bit center forward in the previous game, so that's one to look out. And so yeah, from Tukums again, from Tukums in the midfield, I already see him. Kenroy Campbell, the Jamaican, is the one to go. He he had some he pretty much destroyed the left side of Lepai defense, so he had like a pretty good game against Lepai, and he did pretty good in the preseason with the RFS, so he's one with the like who's gonna be like the main guy with Samoilos in Tukums. So let's go with another midfielder, and who I have to go with Silakadze. He was the most dangerous man for Liepaja in the previous game, and he might be a little unselfish from time to time, but I think he will, under the management of Thomas Pertier, will get a lot of points. So Lucas Silakadze will be my fourth midfielder. And now let's go with some forwards. As you can see, Ramirez, Regja, Lemajic. Ramirez is a pretty good pick, but I think I might go some little different route with forward and from the third Auda player. So let's take him out. Regja from Riga, I think will stay for now, but it might change in 5 minutes. So let's take out Lemajic and let's go with the forwards. So looking at the list, I did notice this might be a surprise to few people, but in my opinion, in long term, if we talk about in like 5 weeks, he might be there next week also to take, but I'm gonna take him now. And where is the player from Grobinya? From Grobinya, the Ukrainian striker Galata I will take. Even though he didn't start the last game, but I believe that in long term he will start over Dobrецos, the son of the manager, and he will be the starting forward. And he did pretty good preseason. He scored 2 goals in, I think it was the last preseason game. So I was a little surprised that he was not in the lineup at first, but I hope he will be in the next game. So I'm gonna take Galata. And the third forward is interesting. I had a list of players who could I choose, and I have decided to go with the Valmiera Gueye guy. So Jibril Gueye, after a long-term injury, is back. Maybe he will start the next game, maybe he will not. It will depend on how your discounts will decide. So Gueye is the guy who I will take from Valmiera. But one other name I want to mention in the forward selection likely will be on my own personal fantasy team, will be the 2007 year born, I think he was, Ivolans, who made his debut in the last game, and he had a pretty good chance to score. Did not get enough power to his shots. So yeah, I will take Ivolans in my fantasy, but this time I will lean towards Galata from the budget signings. So that's enough with forwards. Okay, let's go with the midfielder or defenders. Let's go with defender first. I said before that I don't choose like center backs, but I choose wing backs, full backs. But I'm gonna lie to myself for the first time because
There
I'm
is
gonna
one
choose,
center back. There is one
yeah,
center back you must take because he is a
Žiga
striker at
Lipuščak.
heart. Oh yeah.
Žiga Lipuščak is the one to take, and at 6.5 million, I think he's a steal, in my opinion. So yeah, let's start looking around. There's, to be honest, with defenders, they are a lot of them. Who could you choose from? Where you can go from? So to me, it's pretty tough to. But the three teams I usually take like defenders are the top teams, the defenders which I choose from, like Riga, Auda, RFS, Valmiera, for example, because clean sheets there will be a little bit more, I think. And let's go with I'm gonna. Who are Jelgava playing in the next matchup? Who was? I know Liepaja plays Meta, RFS plays because I want to take Walter Spoors. I want to go with the young under 19 international, and I will go for it. Even though he is a center back, but I believe Yago played a clean sheet when they were with 10 men. They got the red card early in the game. So, but even though there are defenders I choose previously from top teams, but because there were like lesser, smaller teams who always allowed a lot of goals. But this time there are like five of them and they play each other. And I think Jalgo is one of those teams who are a little bit better than the rest of us, except from Tukums. Except from Tukums. So I'm gonna go with Poors as the other center back. And the third center,
one of our players to watch for this year.
yeah, yeah, he is because he at the age of 16 or 17 made his debut in Virsliga as a starting center back. So it's pretty good. And the third one is even though he had I have to look at the budget, but I have it. I have it. I have the budget set up. Even though he had a pretty bad game, in my opinion. But he looks to me, even though he had a pretty bad game, previous one, I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna go for Papefal from Latvian. Even though he had a bad game, I did rewatch that game for my own. He had some like he was not sharp enough on his passes, not focused enough, but he did spam a lot of crosses in the box. And there is Dodo who jumps very high, who is experienced player, and I think he will get some assists this season. So Fall is the one. We have 9 million remaining. So midfielder, even though we have 9 million remaining, I had my eyes on one midfielder, and we are gonna do a little change in the forward position because I want to take Robert Smelkis from Grobiņa at 9 million.
Oh yeah.
Excuse me, 6 million. That's 6 million.
Maybe next year.
Maybe next year 9. Yeah, for Liepaja. So 6 million Robert Smelkis will be my final midfielder, and they are playing Daugavpils the next game. So might be some points there from the young guy. And so we have 3 million remaining in the budget. But as I said, I will make a change and I will take out Galata. I will go with the forward and I will go with the Marcus Ivoland at 4.5. 4.5 million Ivolans. Even though he doesn't need to be in my starting lineup at first, so he will be like my squad depth bench piece right now. And the goalkeeper. So now I am left with like pretty much nothing. And I have to take a backup. And I will take Žuravļos from Daugavpils because from the available 8 goalkeepers who are at 4 million, he is the only one who is close to playing in a game, in my opinion.
Well, Tolman
He's
was on the bench for Meta, I think from
yeah
4
yeah
million keepers, the only
yeah.
one.
But I think Sorokins has earned his place and will be the starter for like the rest of the season, or until the Nikita Farfionos, if he comes back from loan. So yeah, I think Juraulios will be the guy. And let's in 1.5 for the manager. Okay, I have Dobricels for Richards. This is to me easy choice. I will go with the under 19 national team manager, Viktor Dobricels, to finish my team. So that will be my team for the week number 2, match day 2 for the Guys United. And let's make my own lineup, like what I will shape them for. I will take out Ivulans, Regsha, Gueye as starters, Ivulans, Snow, Vapne, Samoilos, Campbell, Silagadze, Savalnieks, Lipushcheks, Falls, and I'm gonna switch out. I'm gonna go with the. I hope I can go with this. Yeah, I can go with this with the 3-5-2. And my captain for the weekend will be Bogdan Samoilos, as he is the captain. I might choose between Campbell or Samoilos, but it's pretty much a toss-up. But I would go with the local guy, Latvian guy, Samoilos, to be my captain for the day. So vice captain will go to Campbell, and that's how my team looks for the match day 2.
Will you use any boosters for this one?
No, I will not. I will not boosters for this one because I think it's a little early. I also don't like to use boosters early. I usually like to take boosters at like match day 7 or match day like in the middle of when there's the middle of the season, because yeah, the injuries right now, the injuries there are not quite a lot, and when the injuries are hitting the players, and it was the case last year when my players got injured a lot, so I had to take the booster then. So nah, not in the match day 2.
Do you want to say a couple of words about your general fantasy managerial philosophy?
uh, as I said before, fullbacks as defenders. In the midfielder, no defensive midfielders, because there is no fancy like in the, I don't know, I which it is the Champions League fancy when where they are also doing the loose balls, how many balls you have intercepted and extra, etc., etc. And with the forwards, I go with the, as I said, 2 goal scorers from top teams and a prospect, let's say, who can raise like be a long-term solution for my forward position. And one other name I wanted to mention, I didn't pick any player from Daugavpils, but if we have to take one player from Daugavpils, it's from Auda, who is on loan, Traore, Abdelkaore Traore, or yeah, Traore. Let's call him Traore. He played pretty high the last game, and he did look. So he might be one to watch also. That's an insight from me. So yeah.
All right, fantastic. Thank you so much. Let's see how the Cool Guys United under your leadership manage for the first few weeks, and then we'll get back to this after then.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Thank you.